This is Pawan. I am going to take live sessions and I am going to help you prepare for your section 3, which is your general section. So coming back to my profile, so I am a Masters in Business Administration, which is MBA from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, Delhi, and I am working professional, basically working in a corporate field as a banker. So in my free time, I teach mathematics, reasoning and general awareness for students who are prepared for competitive exams like CA Foundation and for legal entrance exams, for BBA entrance exams and any other exams which will have mathematics, quant, reasoning and general awareness. Since all these combinations work well for our general section, so I am going to help you prepare for this section thoroughly.
It's time to target top commerce colleges. Explore comprehensive CUET combo pack from OneFin by Indigo Learn.
Today we are going to discuss about what is general test and how we are going to prepare for that examination. Okay. Now the first question that all of you might be having is, sir, anyway general test is not mandatory for the courses that I am opting for, so why should I prepare for general test? So you are partly right and partly wrong. Partly right because for some of the courses that you are opting for, general test is not mandatory, whereas for some of the courses and the Delhi University like BMS or BBA, so this is a mandatory section, right? Apart from your language and the domain course, this general test is mandatory. So the first thing that most of you might be wondering is, this is very new, so do I have enough time to prepare till the examination, and what exactly is general test? What are there in the general test, how much time is there, how many questions are there? So there are so many questions that are there in your mind, right? So this video will make it very easy for you to understand what is general test, what are the different concepts that are tested in this, and what is the weightage given to each of these topics, and how much time do you have, and how exactly can you prepare for this examination. Okay, right. Now let's look at the syllabus that is given as per the NTA. The syllabus for section 3 general test is categorized into 5 sections. They said each section has 15 questions. Okay, so which are those sections? Section A is general knowledge and current affairs. Section B is general ability. Section C is numerical ability. Section D is quantitative reasoning, which comprise of simple, basic and mathematical concepts of arithmetic, algebra, geometry, mensuration and statistics taught till grade 8. So if you are wondering, sir, you are telling us so many complex subjects in mathematics, don't worry, because he clearly mentioned that is till grade 8. So till grade 8, I think we are very comfortable, very fundamental questions like what is mean, median, mode, we know the basic, we know what is AP, GP, we know how to compute ratio, right? All those basic things, sum of angles in a triangle, we know all these things, right? All we need to do is practice few questions and I think we'll get our confidence back. So that is your section D, guys, and section E is logical and analytical reasoning. Let's try to understand broadly what are these sections, and then probably we can do some sample questions also to help you understand what are the kind of questions they can ask and whether will we have enough time to solve these problems in the stipulated time. So that brings me to the second question. How many questions do you have? That is already answered. 5 sections of 15 questions each, so totally 75 questions. Then you might be asking, sir, is it mandatory to attempt all 75 questions? The answer is no, because he said candidate have to attempt 12 questions from each section. So out of 15, you have to attempt 12 questions. That means 80% of the paper you have to attempt, right? So 12 questions into 5 sections, basically it will give you 60 questions, right? So you have to attempt 60 questions and the time provided for you is 60 minutes. That means per question you will have 1 minute. So you might be wondering, sir, don't you think the time is on the lower side? No, I will not think so. Unless we get stuck with a question and take a lot of time, I think for most of the students 60 minutes would be more than sufficient, right? Now before we move on to the sample questions, so you might be asking, sir, I have not studied any of this in my +1 or +2. So do you think we have enough time to prepare for this section for the examination? So if you ask me, I would say definitely you will have enough time, because you don't have to sit and prepare for a long time for general knowledge and current affairs. All you need to do is just be aware of the events that are happening in and around you, right? And largely, since it's an MCQ based exam, you can mostly eliminate the wrong answers and you can arrive at the correct answer. All we need to do is brush up few concepts and then I think you should be good to go. Second is general ability, then numerability, quantitative reasoning and logical reasoning. All these topics may look little different from what you have studied in your plus 1 and plus 2, but I think these are all fundamental concepts that we have studied in our school, and all we need to do is practice few questions. And one advantage that you definitely have, guys, is the earlier you start the preparation, the better it is. Okay, now coming back to what we are going to offer, right? So here the advantage is, since your exam is somewhere in July, right, July first week or second week, we will run live sessions for you covering all these concepts, and we'll also give you every section dedicated question bank so that you can practice in addition to whatever we solve in the class. And also we'll conduct mock examinations for you to assess how you compete, how you are competing with other students who are preparing simultaneously with you. So you will have evaluation also done on that basis. Okay, and since you have access to mock examinations, you can see how you are progressing in terms of preparation for this specific section. Okay, now the only thing that we need to do is, do not worry about these topics, because these are all topics that we have already studied in the past. Maybe they are packaged in a different way to sound little different. For example, we are speaking about reasoning. I think there will be questions on arrangement, there will be questions on number series, there can be question on direction. So now let's look at some sample questions that can possibly be in your exam. So covering all the different topics that we have discussed, which are part of your general test. Okay, now let's look at your first question. Very interesting question. This comes under your general knowledge. As you can see, who is the title sponsor for IPL 2022? So you look at the options: Dream 11, Tata, Unacademy and CRED. So you might be asking, sir, all these are anyway sponsoring the IPL. When the commentators, they read out all these names, but you have to pay attention and see which is the title sponsor. Some are associate sponsors, some are the title sponsors. So when they say IPL, earlier they used to say Vivo IPL, right? Now they are saying what? They are saying Tata IPL. So Tata is your answer. This is the correct answer. This is the title sponsor for your IPL 2022. Okay. Now let's look at our next question. Who is our external affairs minister? So if you are wondering what is external affairs, basically who is our foreign minister? So you look at the options: Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, Piyush Goyal and Jai Shankar. So you know Amit Shah is anyway our home minister, Rajnath Singh is our defense minister and Piyush Goyal is our commerce minister, right? So obviously what is the answer? S. Jai Shankar, who recently even went to US, if you recall, he is our external affairs minister. Now let's look at question number 3, or the next question. Who is the CEO of Twitter, right? Who is the CEO of Twitter? You have Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, Parag Agarwal and Shantanu Narayan. Here also you can see all 4 are Indian names. So basically you look at other familiar names like Satya Nadella, you know he is the CEO of Microsoft. If you look at Sundar Pichai, he is associated with Google, and Shantanu Narayan is associated with a company called Adobe. Parag Agarwal, why did they ask about Parag Agarwal? Because recently, I think just couple of months back, he became the CEO of Twitter, Indian origin. Okay, before that he was Chief Technology Officer, now he became CEO. Okay, so these are the kind of questions that you can expect in current affairs. For this you don't require lot of preparation like reading newspapers, you have to read books. No, some bit of awareness about what has happened in the past 6 to 7 months, that will anyway help you with our bid banks, and also will help you with live sessions where we'll cover what exactly has happened in that particular month, so that you note down the key events that happened in that particular month during our live sessions. So accordingly every month, you know, these are the 10 possible events that have happened. So you make a list of it, and anyway we'll have our assessments, exams, where again these questions will be repeated so that you can remember all of these before going to the examination. Okay, next question looks like a direction question. If north becomes south, then east becomes. Okay, so I think here we have to make a small correction, then east becomes. So basically it's a direction questions. So if you are wondering what exactly is referring to, here we have to first do our geometrical direction. This is north, this is south, you know, this is east and this is west, right? If north becomes south, so basically what has happened, north becoming south, basically if means is a possibility, whether it will happen, no. But in this problem, if north becomes south, so exactly opposite places are getting swapped. So exactly this is getting swapped with this, you can see this is how it is swapping, then east becomes. So obviously if you are swapping your place with the person who is exactly opposite to you, then obviously the guy east will also swap with the person who is exactly opposite to him. So east will then become west, as you can see. Okay, this is basic question in direction. Next we look at a question, comparison. If Rohit is taller than Charan, who is taller than Ram and Dev, who is the shortest of all? So basically he is giving you a relation between 4 guys and is asking who is the shortest. Now how do we solve such problems? Basically we should be in a position to compare them. It's basically called comparison. For comparison, either we use the symbol greater than or less than. So here, since Rohit, I will put R, is greater than Charan. See, Rohit is greater than Charan. Taller, so I will put greater than symbol. Charan, who is taller? So basically now he referring to Charan, who is taller than Ram? Since I have already used R, so I am using Ram and Dev. So and Dev means this Charan is taller than both Ram and Dev. Now the question is who is the shortest of all? Now it's a very tricky question, because if he asked who is the tallest of all, then I can say the answer is Rohit, right? Now he is asking who is the shortest of all. Now the worry is who is the shortest, whether it is Ram or Dev, because there is no explicit mention about whether Ram is greater than Dev or Ram is less than Dev in terms of height. Since that is unanswered, we cannot assume that one person is taller than the other unless otherwise specified. So Ram is a possibility, Dev is also possibility, Charan definitely not the answer. So the answer is either A or B. So only one person can be possible at a time. Agreed? Since there is no direct relation between Ram and Dev, we cannot conclusively tell who is the taller of the two or shorter of the two. So accordingly the answer is multiple answer. So that is the reason we have either A or B. Okay. Now let's look at an arrangement question. If A is sitting 2 places to the right of B. Okay. So you can see here A is sitting 2 places to the right of B. So basically you put B, then first place and second place you have A. 2 places to the right means exactly the second place. Instead of saying the second place, he said 2 places. So A is sitting 2 places to the right of B, who is 5 places to the left of C. So basically if you have C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically 5 places, as you can see. Okay, A is sitting 2 places to the right of B, who is 5 places to the left of C. So 1 place, second place, third place, fourth place and fifth place. So he is referring to B. Now the question is how many people can sit between A and C? So between A and C, how many can sit? As you can see, there are only 2 places. So the answer is option D. You have 2 people who can sit between them. Okay. Next question, at what rate of simple interest will a sum double in 10 years? Now automatically my mind goes to a chapter called simple interest and compound interest. Now is it difficult? No. All I need to remember is only one formula. What is that formula? Interest is equal to PTR by 100 or PNR by 100. Now if you are wondering what is P, P is the principal, what is T, time period, R is the rate of interest per annum. Now he is asking you what is the rate of interest. That means in this problem you have 4 unknowns, I, P, T, R. So R is being asked. So basically he should have given you I, he should have given you P, he should have given you T. Time though he gave you 10 years. Rate of interest is what he is asking. So you might be wondering, sir, where did he give P, where did he give I? But he asked you at what rate of simple interest will a sum double in 10 years. So basically if you have 100, it will become 200. If you have 50, it will become 100. Or you have P, only P, it will become 2P, right? But the question is, you might be asking, sir, you made a mistake. Interest is not 2P. 100 becomes 200 means this is the principal, this is the amount. So additional money that you earned is basically interest. So basically you should not put 2P, basically we should only put P. You are absolutely right, because by investing 100, if you earn 200, means the interest extra money that you earned is 100 only, not 200. So in the formula I is equal to PTR by 100. So I is also P here, as I told you. So PP gets cancelled, 10 goes 10 times. So R is equal to 10%. Basically that is the answer to option B. Next question, find the missing term in the series 2, 15, 80 and so on. Now this is called series. In a series problem, basically he can give you addition, he can give you multiplication, he can give you addition and multiplication, or he can give you squares also. That squares is very difficult, but I don't think that is possible, but very basic question. So if you look at 2 and 15 and 80, so they are increasing very fast. So from 2 to 15 there are multiple ways you can go, right? 2 is multiple of 2 may you will not get 15, right? So 2 table may you will not get 15. So basically direct multiplication is not the case, but 2 goes 7 times, which is 14 plus 1. So it is 2 into 7 plus 1 is what you might be thinking, but in 15 table also 18 will not go, right? So maybe I am missing something. So basically in such problems we have to be very smart in figuring out what exactly is the logic. So sometimes they can give you a logic which is slightly challenging. So here if you look at 15 table may, how will you get 80? 15 goes 5 times, which is close to 75, then you have 5. So basically I am trying all possible combinations. So you can see now into 7 plus 1 is not working, into 5 plus 5 will it work? You check here. So if I do 2 into 5 plus 5, will I get 15? Yes, I will get. That means the previous number, if you multiply 5 times and add a number 5 to it, you are getting the subsequent answer. So 2 5s are 10 plus 5, 15, 15 5s are 75 plus 5, 80. So 80 into 5, 8 5s are 40. So 400 plus 5, so 405. So this logic is a combination of both addition and multiplication. Basically you should first do multiplication then addition in mathematics, as you know. So there can be only addition, only multiplication, or a combination, okay, like that you can have a question. So what I have shown is slightly tougher question, but generally this is the higher level of difficulty, you can get even lower also, okay. Now look at one question again from maths. Ram alone can complete a task in 6 hours and Beam alone can do it in 3 hours. In how much time will they complete the task if they work together? So now it's a very smart question. Ram can do it in 6 hours, Beam can do it in 3 hours. Obviously if they work together they will take less time only, right? But all the options are less except 4 and 3, right? 4 and 3 anyway is not the correct answer, because Beam alone is doing in 3 hours. If they work together definitely they will take less than 3. So whether it is 2 or 1 we have to find out. So this problem basically is there in your ratios. If you recall in your school ratios, they call it as time and work in plus 2 or competitive exams, but basically it's a ratio problem. Now how do we solve such problem? What is the time Ram is taking to complete the task? He is taking 6 hours. Beam is taking 3 hours. So now we have a formula. If a person can do a task in P hours and another person can do the same task in Q hours, together they can solve the problem in PQ by P plus Q. This is a standard formula if you have 2 people. So here also Ram can do it in 6 hours, Beam can do it in 3 hours, together they can do it in 6 into 3 by 6 plus 3, which is 18 by 9, which is only 2 hours. As you can see, option C, direct formula application. Even if you have 3 people also you can do it. In that case formula may not work. Then one additional step will be there, that we will discuss when we have 3 people question discussed in our live session. Okay. Now let's look at one more question. Maths. If 3 angles in a triangle are in the ratio 2:3:5, then what is the value of the largest angle? Now the first question that I ask you is, what is sum of angles in a triangle? Triangle has, as you can see, 3 sides. So sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So there are 3 angles, let's say ABC, A plus B plus C is equal to 180, right? And this ABC are in the ratio 2:3:5. So basically once we are removing the ratio, we know we have to introduce a constant. 2x plus 3x plus 5x is equal to 180. Are we good? So 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 5 10, 10x is equal to 180. So x is equal to 10 gets cancelled. So 18 is the value. Now the question is not x, he is not asking you x, he is asking you what is the largest angle. So out of 2x, 3x, 5x, 5x is the largest angle. So 5 into 18, so 18 into 5 is 90 degrees. So the answer is 90. Okay. So as you can see, you don't have to be worried about this section. Though this section may be little new to you, the concepts that are tested in this section are very basic in nature, which you can cover in a short span of time. And with our live sessions that we are going to do, with our mock exams that we are going to conduct, and the additional material that we are going to provide to you, which you can practice in your free time, and the mock exams that we are going to make you write, will help you prepare thoroughly for this exam. And basically this section, you should treat this section as a section where you have to score maximum marks, which will help you get the admission in the best possible way. Okay.
Get ready for CUET. Enroll with OneFin by Indigo Learn. We have live classes, MCQs and full mock test. Learn like never before.